this is pure past question whereby you have been asked to find the center and the radius from a general equations of a circle. In fact, this is a topic on coordinate geometry, right? Coordinate geometry 2 in some syllables. Okay, so let's dive into the question and see how to tackle that. So here we are giving equations of a circle. That is, of course, if you haven't watched our video on the equations of the circle so far, you may consider watching that before you come back and watch this type of problem. Is that okay? By the way, the summary to that is that you have the simple form of equations of a circle, the standard one, and the general. So here, this problem here is on what? A general equations of a circle. Is that okay? Now, it is your duty to know how the general equations of a circle looks like, right? It's your duty. You must know that in order for you to tackle any problem that comes your way. Is that okay? So let's check the question. So let's check the question first, and then we come back and check the solution. All right. So here comes the question. So question number 34, right? It says that find the radius of a circle, right? That is the equation that we are having: 3x squared plus 3y squared minus 12x plus 18y minus 27 is equal to 0. So okay, as you can see, this is a pure past question. By the way, the book that I'm using here is A+ series, one of the biggest mathematicians in Ghana. So credit to Mr. Ishmael Adam. Alright, so let's check the solution to that. So this is the equation. Is that okay? You are given this equation: 3x squared plus 3y squared minus 12x plus 18y minus 27 is equal to 0. Is that okay? So this equation looks like what? A general equations of a circle. Is that okay? So when I give you any equation that you are having, make sure that you check whether the equation looks like a general equations of a circle or the standard one. Of course, before you can proceed and tackle any problem. So this equation looks like what? A general equations of a circle. So what do you know? What do you know? How does the general equations of the circle looks like? Here is it. So x squared, I will say x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2f y plus c is equal to 0, right? So perfect. This is something that you must know, and out of this one we know that the center of the circle is what? Minus g and minus s. So pay close attention over here. So I will see that this x squared has no any number attached to that. Of course, there's a 1 here, so let's assume that there's no number since it's invisible, right? So by assumption, we know that this x squared has no friend, this y squared has no friend over here, but the x alone has what? A friend to be 2g, right? So another one, y alone has a friend to be 2f, and then we have our boss itself, which is a number, right? It has nobody attached to that, it's just a number. So this guy and this guy and then this guy here are what? Numbers. Is that okay? You just need to find that. So this is something that you must know before you can consider solving any problem. I think you should devote your time like 60% on understanding or getting the 2 here and how to apply it, right? So let's get back to the question. So this is the question being given to us. So when you compare this question, this equation being given to us, to the general equations of a circle, you can see that this is what the question being given to us must look like. So by here you can see that this x squared here from the question is having 3. So we need to eliminate this 3 here, because what you know is that the x squared and the y squared has no friend, right? By assumption, the x squared and the y squared has no friend. We are okay with this x, we are okay with the y, and then we are okay with the c. So we need to convert this one to look like something like this before we can proceed. That is our first step. So we solved some questions on your previous video. You may consider watching that, whereby the coefficients, what I mean by the coefficients, the number attached to the x squared has no, in that question it has no number. Is that okay? This guy and this guy has no number, so that makes that question very simple to solve, right? But here they have some friends attached to that. We don't want that. What we know is that this guy and this guy has no friend. Is that okay? So let's eliminate these 2 people there, so that we can see that this guy, now the question tends to look like something that we must know, right? Alright, so for that reason, whatever the number is here, you must divide that by a number, so that we know that you don't have a friend. Does it make sense? So in this case, we are dividing the given equation. This is what I mean by the given equation, right? This is the given equation. So we are dividing that equation by 3, right? Why are we dividing by 3? So that what we know is that the x squared and the y squared has no friend. So when you divide everything here by 3, this guy will look similar like the general equations of a circle. That's the main reason why. Of course, you have to divide everything by 3 so that you are not changing the nature of the equation. So perfect. When you divide everything by 3, so this is what you are going to get. You are going to get this guy and that guy will cancel out. Have you see? This one and this one will go away, and then this one and this one will also go, and so on and so forth. So when you proceed, you can see that this guy becomes x squared plus what? Y squared. When you divide this one by 3, you are going to get what? Minus 4s plus, you divide this one by 3, you are going to get 6y minus what? You divide here by it, you are going to get what? Negative 9. Y is equal to 0. Then you ask yourself, does it look similar to the general equation that you know? What you know? Exactly. The coefficients of this one is what? They don't have any friend. They don't have any friend. So the same thing, after we divide it by 3, we can see that this guy becomes something that we know. Okay, so from here, we can continue from here. Okay, we know that the center of a circle, so but let's do the comparison first. Can you see? The comparison here is that we are going to find this 2g. We know from the general equations of a circle that 2g, x has a friend to be what? 2g. So if you see anybody by the roadside who is attached to the x, we consider that person to be what? 2g. Is that okay? So anybody that is attached to the x is what? 2g. The same applies to the y. Anybody that is attached to the y is what? 2f. Right? So when I see you in any equation like this that looks similar like the general equations of a circle, is what? A friend of what? 2f. So let's check this one. So this guy is having what? Minus 4 here. So by what we know by default is that 2g is a friend of what? X. So it means that this guy is the same as what? 2g. So let's calculate that and find the g out. So 2g is equal to what? 4. You know where this guy is coming from. This is the 2g is coming from the general equation. And then you came to the existence so that you are a friend of the general equation. Then it means that when you are attached to the x, then you are also a 2g. Is that okay? For that reason, we are equating the 2g from the general equation to what? The new equation that we are having here. So 2g is equal to what? Minus 4. So when you solve for the g, you get g to be what? Negative 2. The same applies to the f, right? Anybody that is attached to the y is what? 2f, right? We know from the definition or by default that a friend of y here is what? 2f. Is that okay? So if you are close to y, it means that you are 2f. So 2f here is equal to what? 6. Then when you solve for the f, you can see that f is equal to positive 3. Once again, from the general equations of what? A circle, we know that we were told that the equations of a circle, or sorry, the center, right? So you need to change this one to the center, right? So a center, the center of the circle is what? Minus g and what? Minus f. Is that okay? So anytime you have a general equations of a circle, out of that general equation, you can straightforward find the center, right? The center is what? Minus g, comma what? Minus f, right? Minus g, comma minus f. So you need to find your g and f first before you can continue looking for the centers of the circle. When you calculated for the g and the f, we had g to be what? Minus 2, and then the f to be what? Positive 3. So g, what we know is that the center is minus g, but our g here is what? Negative 2. So minus g becomes what? A positive over here. This is like this. So minus g, minus, comma, what is the g? G is minus 2 on e2. Can you see that? So this one becomes what? A positive 2. That's what I'm having here. And then the f is what? 3. Is that okay? But we know that the center is minus f, right? Minus g and a minus f. So this one becomes a negative. So we put a negative sign. The center of the circle is what? Positive 2, comma what? Minus 3. Alright, perfect. By the way, the question is not asking you to find the radius. Is that okay? But how do you find the radius? Should in case you have been asked to find the radius of the circle from the general equations of a circle. So this is what you must know. You must know that the radius from the general equations of the circle is the big square root g squared plus f squared minus c. Is that okay? For you to be able to apply this thing, you must know where this guy is coming from, and where this one is also coming from. Right? You've already found for the g and the f. What about the c? Right? C is from the equation. So when you do the comparison, here, this is our new equation that we find. Have you seen that? This is the general equations of a circle, right? And the c is the last number in the what? In the equation, the last number here. So when you do the comparison, You can see that the last number here is what? Negative what? 9, right? So C is what? Negative 9 over here. So let's check that. So when you plug that into the definitions of the radius from the general equations of a circle, you can see that G was minus 2, so we place that by what? Minus 2 over here, all squared, plus F, you had F to be positive 3, of course. So positive 3, you are just replacing. Is that okay? You are just replacing over here. So positive 3 squared minus, what is the C? C is what? Negative 9. Is that okay? So C is negative 9. So we are just replacing. When you do a calculation perfectly, you can see that your radius becomes root 22. Is that okay? So the center and the radius of this circle from the general equations of a circle is what? Positive 2 comma what? Negative 3, and the radius is what? Root what? 22. Is that okay? Even though you have not been asked to find the center, and then you need to get that center before you can proceed and find the radius of the circle. Does that make sense? Alright, so perfect. If you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share and like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You may also consider joining our WhatsApp group for more interactive questions with students one-on-one. Thank you.